Artificial intelligence. Either you think you know what it is, you might have a general concept of what it could become, or you know what AI is, and you know that it's been used for over 30 years. The medical system, corporate banking, and the military, just to name a few industries that utilize AI. Like everything, it is right in front of our noses, yet we are not capable of comprehending what it is. They have been hiding AI in graphics cards since the beginning of gaming. Right now, if you bought the next generation of NVIDIA RTX graphics cards, you have machine learning AI cores built into it. If you Google AI and the blockchain, you will see various articles about how AI should be linked to the blockchain, but from deep research papers and Silicon Valley leakers, we know now that the blockchain is the nerve network of the AI. If you were a cryptocurrency miner, whether you just used your computer to mine cryptocurrency, or you set up mass warehouses and mass farms, all your computing power was being sent and used for the creation of the AI. Think of thousands of GPUs, millions of GPUs worldwide linked up to solve the algorithms needed for the artificial intelligence learning process. And that would mean Bitcoin is just the electronic shekel reward for solving the AI's computational needs. You link up to the blockchain, you help build this AI with your computing power, and we'll give you a little kickback of all the processing revenue we're generating. If you were one of these Bitcoin miners, you have proverbial blood on your hands for creating the next generation of government control and artificial intelligence. Here's an example. Here's one of many websites that you could use your computer's hardware to fold, or for folding they call it, where you hook up to a data center and your computer hardware is used to calculate cures for cancer, diseases they say. They have project timelines. And they're using your computer to help them in their protein folding algorithms and simulations. Stanford Research has one that you can link up and use your computer to solve the world's diseases. Again, all on paper sounds good. This is just one example of how they use your computer hardware for their processing, their means. And how do we know that once you link up in this folding exercise that they're not using your computer processing for the AI? I'm trying to get the point across to you that these mad scientists have used the world's energy and computing power for their evil science, which is artificial intelligence. Now, there are people out there that believe AI can be programmed good. That is possible if you are the programmer and you yourself are good. But all AI that we have to date has been programmed by very vile people, very negative technocrats. And here are a couple examples of how AI already has cheated its creator and masters. Here is a cute story of a clever AI that hid data from its creators to cheat at its appointed tasks. And they even say in the article that you're either fascinated or terrified by this research. But my point is, this AI that was trained by Stanford and Google cheated so it was able to complete its tests easier that the creators were giving it. It was storing data behind the scenes, and they eventually found it. The article says that this stenography is not new technology. People watermark images or add metadata like camera settings. but a computer creating its own stenographic method to evade having to actually learn to perform the task at hand is rather new, scientists are saying. Here's an article from The Independent back from July 2017. When Facebook's artificial intelligence robots shut down after they start talking to each other in their own language. 2 separate AI bots. And in this more recent article from December 2018, you see that this can be dangerous. Chinese robot stabs factory worker in horror AI malfunction with 10 metal spikes. This article also talks about in Germany in 2015 how a worker was trapped by a robotic arm. He was crushed against a plate by the arm that moves car plates into place. And you can Google Chinese robot stabs factory worker if you want to see the uncensored images. But this isn't just about malfunctioning machines or AI hiding information from its creators. This goes much deeper. Ex-Google CEOs that retired were the first to form the first AI religion on this planet, the Church of Artificial Intelligence. You can see these nutty people are already worshiping the AI that you believe doesn't exist, that you believe isn't even here for another 10 to 20 years. Yet these people at the very top of our Silicon Valley structure, Google, are worshiping this artificial intelligence already. And that is the plan. It ties into everything. They want transhumanism. They want the singularity. They want to be uploaded into this system. This goes into the recent Alex Jones podcast, and he was talking about his belief. He says the government is getting this technology from what some would call aliens, but more detailed interdimensional beings, aka demons, aka Satan. So they're already established their religion and they're worshiping it, while you sit there in disbelief that AI even exists. Different countries are programming their own individualized versions of AI. The Chinese AI will have a different personality than the American AI, or the Israeli AI, or the French AI. AIs are being used to run governments right now, to run military simulations. Back in the day, they were called war games for you youngins out there. War games were computer simulations that tested every possible theory of a future war scenario, and these war game AIs are now running the show. The AI, like I said earlier, already runs medicine. You can learn about IBM's Watson AI that runs your healthcare and decides whether you live, you die, and who gets your organs on the black market. The Google CAPTCHA system is so key for you to understand how even a basic solving of the CAPTCHA, when you have to solve on any website to prove that you're a human, you are helping the AI learn and differentiate. You're giving it a piece of your knowledge. That's what Google CAPTCHA is for, to train the AI. Everything about this system is data mining. You have to understand this. The Chinese AI is far ahead of other countries' AI because they have cameras everywhere, microphones everywhere. Their people are completely monitored and studied. And all that data, that raw data, is being fed to the AI. That's why they're speeding up in their advancement of their AI. For years, China had the top supercomputers in the world. They were definitely on the list of the top 10 supercomputers of the world. China was multiple places on that list. It's not their computing power that's beating us, it's the fact that they have more raw data. And now with Google giving them all America's technology, all of America's AI systems like you heard on the podcast, China is no holds barred now, geared for the future to take over as the superpower of the world. The Chinese system that the New World Order loves so much. Back in 2007, the Adreno project was started, a series of GPUs, graphic processor units, that Google had a big hand in, and Qualcomm, These cleverly named Adreno GPUs were the beginning of the AI GPUs. Now they have AI GPUs everywhere. But this was the beginning in 2007 in terms of GPUs being the processing brain power for the AI. Probably happened a long time before, but I want you to take note of the name, Adreno. In 2008, a year later, Chrome comes out. Google's Chrome browser and Chrome operating system. Now, when you put those names together, a lot of theorists think it's a funny joke that the elite are pulling. You have adrenochrome, basically, the popular substance that the elite love, and you can learn more about that in other videos. Now I'm going to show you some amazing things AI is doing right now. Not might do in a couple years, or this is all possible. No. Right now, artificial intelligence is doing amazing things to fool you. Your favorite technology website, The Verge, talks about how AI is generating human-like and lifelike faces, and how this technology has advanced in 4 years, the machine learning technology. And there are websites that show you huge lists of people's faces that look real, and they're all fake AI generated faces. These people don't exist. And the website thispersondoesnotexist.com uses AI to generate endless fake faces. A simple website. Imagine what the government can do. Imagine what they can create you doing, like a fake AI generated scene of you robbing a bank, of you flying a plane, of you dancing with Queen Elizabeth. Think about it. Here's an article from September of 2018. AI may have written this article, but is that such a bad thing? This article's from Forbes, and they are showcasing the fact that AI is even writing news articles now that are indistinguishable from real journalists. Here's an article from Vox talking about how great this is, how wonderful, or should we be worried? But it's okay, AI's great. And if you go to NVIDIA's own website for deep learning AI, they created an entire metropolis city, all AI rendered, created by the AI, everything. The buildings were designed by the AI, the roads, the streets, the fake people. And the footage here, you could see the actual city, and you can go and research this further. How they're creating whole worlds that are in this artificial space. Again, what can the government do with this technology? And you could just Google deepfake AI technology to read all the media's scare tactics about deepfake technology. But they do have a point. The average person now can use artificial intelligence to make people look like other people. They could do it with world leaders. They could fake the voice. They could fake the looks. You know, this technology might have been used, for example, in the Julian Assange video. People say that was digitized and fake. My whole point is, with this type of artificial intelligence, deep learning, they are able to now blackmail you and frame you, saying things, doing things, whatever they want. And on the other side of it, they could also claim this technology if real events happen. They can use this and say, oh, it's just deepfake, it's not real. So the pendulum swings both ways. But let me just finalize and say that the amount of power your computer needs for the real Julian Assange level deepfakes is Pixar level, is government level. AI is being used for traffic in all major cities around the world. Google Traffic AI in Seattle 2004. You'll see articles about it. So in closing, we must be aware that the elite, the upper echelon of governments, are aware of this and are using AI in everyday circumstances. AI is being integrated into the military. For the past 30-40 years, stealth bombers have been flown with AI. They are even worshiping this AI as a god that gives them technology from the other side. And if you really knew the level of technology that they had at the upper echelon, the breakaway civilization technology, you would be blown away, and the average person could not handle it. This all also ties into D-Wave quantum computing, another off-world technology, and we will do a separate video on that in the future. It deserves its own video, but D-Wave quantum computing is the next step in this mad science. Thank you very much for watching. Please give a thumbs up. Please share this video. We are in a shadow ban algorithm lockdown. YouTube has us silenced. You can help by sharing this video on Facebook, by sharing this video with friends and family, and by hitting that subscribe button and the bell icon for more videos and more interesting topics. Thank you very much. And thanks to all my patrons out there that support the show, and thanks to all my fans who are hitting that thumbs up button. Thank you all.